I'm utterly disappointed in you." These words from the department head, Lorraine, pierced my ears. As I cleared my desk, I felt the cold gaze of my female boss and heard the snickers of those around me. I, once a promising new graduate, never imagined stumbling like this. Lorraine, who was the cause of it all, smiled maliciously. "I heard that your wife even dumped you. She served you divorce papers the day after the personal change, didn't she? What about it? Just thinking how pitiful it is." Lorraine chuckled mockingly. I glared at her briefly, lifting a cardboard box filled with my belongings. My wife was no longer at home, leaving only the divorce papers in my possession. She took all the furniture with her, and even our savings. I guess it was the sign of my failure as a husband. My transfer to a rural backwater was due to harassment from my new female boss. Though Lorraine often sneered at me, I never expected to be blamed for the work mistakes that she made. Blamed for them, I was transferred to a branch office in the countryside. My ex-wife, whom I married right after university, left me, probably thinking I let her down. While packing up my things, I was approached by my colleague, Jordan. "I'm going to miss you around here." "Well, there's nothing I can do. I'm no longer needed here." "Then, there must be something for you to do in the new place you're going to." "Maybe. Thanks for everything. See you." I left my old workplace with all my belongings, and soon after that, I moved to the rural town I was relegated to. What a joy to have such a young guy join us right at the start of the year. "Welcome aboard. Cheers." On the first day of work at the branch office, everyone welcomed me, even throwing a welcome party in the meeting room. The treatment here was so different from what I received at the head office. Man, there are only older people working here, barely managing to use the modern technology. We can type on Word, like we used to do on a typewriter, but that's about it. Do you even know what a typewriter is? Yes, I do. Now you can show us how to use these new phones too. Taking photos and videos, sending emails. I'd love to learn about apps too. As we were talking over drinks, I couldn't help thinking, seriously. Indeed, there were hardly any young people living in this remote town, and I was surprised to find most employees at this branch office were rehired retirees. It's nice to be employed at this age, but we're not tech-savvy. We're having trouble using computers, and there's no one to teach us how to use them. That's right, we can't even use Excel. We still work with pen and paper, so whatever we do, it just takes a long time. We can find anyone with computer skills, even if we advertise for a part-time job. I see. I wondered if I could really make it in a place like this. Although I was feeling uneasy about working at this branch office, I had no choice but began working, welcomed by everyone. The next day, I found myself teaching computer basics to seniors at work. Let's see. First, basic chart creation in Excel, and perhaps the function used in the advanced course. I printed out meticulously formatted manuals on A4 papers for everyone. By using the manuals, I hoped to prevent the situation where they would start saying, "Oh, I asked about this before but I forgot." The elderly staff here were forgetful, but eager to learn by taking notes. I made the manuals as clear as possible, with large diagrams and illustrations. The old computers at the company were a challenge too. I negotiated with the headquarters to arrange newer computers through a rental service. There shouldn't be any more excuses for not being able to do office work due to Excel issues. I'm just curious, since nobody knew how to use Excel. Who was handling the office work before I came here? Puzzled, I asked my colleague, Henry, about it. It was Emma. She's the daughter of Max, who lives nearby. She got a job in a city after graduating from college, but the company she was working for went bankrupt due to the recession. She couldn't find another job, so she came back home. She worked here for a while as an office clerk, but then she had to quit due to some family issues. Well, with what happened, it couldn't be helped. What happened? It's nothing. Without saying anything further, Henry returned to his desk. Why did she quit when there was no other work in this town? What could have happened? For a long time, I was wondering about this girl named Emma. Some time had passed. Then on one weekend, the weather suddenly changed. One minute it was sunny, and the next we had a downpour. I couldn't even handle laundry outside. I was thinking, looking out the window, when someone visited the old house I was renting. I hurried to the door as the doorbell rang repeatedly, and there stood a woman, drenched in the rain. "Hi, what happened? You're soaking wet. What's going on?" I couldn't help but ask the woman. "Hi, sorry to bother you. My father has gone missing. Have you seen an elderly man in his pajamas around here?" "No, I haven't seen anyone." Hearing that, she looked down and said, "I see." I handed her a towel and asked, "Your father is missing." She nodded silently to my question. "Have you contacted the police?" "Yes, I have. They're searching for him as we speak." As if on cue, the public address system announced a missing elderly man. The missing person is Max Saran, 58 years old, of medium build. "Wait, Max. Are you Emma?" "Yes, that's me." I was surprised. The woman in front of me was Emma, the one Henry mentioned the other day at the office, the former employee of our company. The missing person was her father. Then I explained to her that I was working at the company where Emma used to work. She seemed a bit relieved and started to share her story. She told me about her father's dementia and the need for care, which led her to quit her job, that it was not easy to make ends meet, but somehow she was managing with the government support and her little savings. But lately, my father started wandering off frequently, and I can't deal with it on my own anymore. "I see. I've talked to his care manager about placing my father in a care facility." With a sigh, she continued, "But I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do, putting him in a care facility. I feel guilty, especially after he supported me through college. Maybe I should continue taking care of him myself." Tears welled up in her eyes. She must have been thinking about this alone for quite some time. "I see. That must be really tough. Thank you for sharing this with me." "Oh, I should be going now. Are you going to continue looking for your father on your own?" "Yes. I can keep bothering others with this. You should change out of those wet clothes, even if it's warm outside." "Oh." Her face turned red. Embarrassed, she hugged herself and looked down. "Oh, no, I'm sorry for my appearance." Just then, the emergency broadcast resumed. "Max has been found safe. Thank you all for your assistance." "Oh, they found my father. That's great to hear." "Yes, I'm so glad. Thank you," she said with a smile. I found myself worrying about her and impulsively offered my help. "If you like, I can come with you to pick up your father. I can bring my car right now." "But that'll be too much. We've just met. I'm an employee of the company you used to work for. I heard about you from others. Given the situation, let me help you." "Okay, thank you." She reluctantly agreed to my offer. After that, I drove her to pick up Max. Exhausted, Max was sound asleep in the hospital bed. He had been found with a bruised hip and was scheduled to get some tests done the next day. For precaution, he was admitted to the hospital. I ended up driving him home. It must be really tough, taking care of your father all by yourself. Not at all. It's something everyone does. During the drive, we talked a lot. She seemed anxious about her future, as she was unable to work but had to care for her father. "I'd prefer to stay at home as much as possible," she said, looking vulnerable. Hearing her story, I came up with a suggestion. "But I'm not sure if I can manage it. I'm already overwhelmed with my father's care. It might be better to consider placing your father in a care facility sooner. What if something like today happens again and he's not found?" "That's true, but at least in a care facility, the risk of him wandering off would be significantly reduced." "I know. I'll think about it." Thank you for your advice. I might have been interfering, but I thought something needed to be done for her before it was too late. Shortly thereafter, I decided to bring up a matter at the company. I made a suggestion to the company that some of the computer-based tasks should be outsourced. The proposed contractor was Emma. I'm anxious about balancing work from home and caregiving, but I'll give it a try. Having some income will make life a bit easier as well. I agree. I'll do my best. The company quickly approved the proposal, and Emma began assisting with our office work. She also started searching for a care facility to take in her father. Continuing caregiving without a job was financially challenging, and to avoid repeating her father's missing incidents, it seemed necessary to find a facility for him. I'll miss living with my father, but I've realized it's selfish of me to keep him at home, she said with a wistful smile. Some time later, a place for her father in a facility was secured. Located next to the hospital in town, it provided reassurance of immediate medical care if needed. Emma told me about this with a smile. Hearing this, I said to her, "That's great. Your work is highly praised at the company. Now, would you consider coming back to the office to work with us? There's no need for you to work from home anymore. Teaching everyone about computers is quite a task for me." Laughing, I made my offer, and she responded with surprise, "Really? Is that okay?" "Yes, in fact, the company is keen on rehiring you. What do you think?" "Yes, I would love to accept that offer," she answered enthusiastically. No, thank you for joining our team again," I said in return. Emma was rehired and returned to our company. "Looking forward to working with you again, Emma. We're so relieved to have you back. With a young presence, the workplace will be livelier." "I'll do my best again." Seeing her sparkling smile, I felt a flutter of excitement. Initially, I wasn't sure if I could make it in this rural town, but I've started feeling that I would be fine. I suddenly remembered what my old colleague, Jordan, said to me before I came here. "There must be something for you to do." Yes, there must be something for me to do here. Feeling a sense of destiny, I resolved to give my best in this town from now on.